We have a lot to cover, some major RFK Jr. news and major stuff on a bunch of different topics on today's program. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is where MAGA comes to talk, the Brian Craig Show podcast. Okay, Stormy Daniels had her final day of testimony, and I want to play this clip. We'll get to RFK in a bit because that's huge stuff on RFK. And I want to take time to discuss it, but I want to get this clip out of the way first. This is MSNBC. They're doing analysis of the testimony of Stormy Daniels, and I'll tell you, this is amazing to me from MSNBC. What they say is spot on. But I've been listening to analysis all day long in the news telling us how great Stormy Daniels did today. She did a wonderful job. She was much more collected. She was calm. I even read some analysis. See, this is the problem with not having the cameras in the courtroom. We have to depend on the Trump-hating media to relay to us what happened, and they are spinning it. I saw one account today that said that Trump's lawyers were embarrassed by Stormy Daniels, that she filleted them on the witness stand and was very clever with her responses. All nonsense. So this is MSNBC. MSNBC hates Trump more than anyone else in cable news, even more than CNN, okay? So this is CNN's analysis of little clip here of Stormy Daniels today.
Stormy Daniels now claims that she is a medium and that she communicates with dead people. And
she talks to dead people. There's more to this. So all of a sudden, Stormy Daniels is a medium. She is in communication with dead people, all right?
Stormy Daniels now claims that she is a medium and that she communicates with dead people and has participated in a TV series about the paranormal where she explored.
I think that show is called Psychic Skanks. I don't know.
This is her new grift.
That she's a medium?
Yeah, this is the mediums are grifters, and they prey on the vulnerable. And it's demonic. So, that's how I feel. And this is her new grift now. She's getting old.
She talks to the dead.
She's getting haggard. She's running out of people that want to see her naked. So now she's going to tell you your future and talk to dead people and make money that way.
Yeah, and I think
this is the Trump thing's drying up.
Instead,
so is she.
Instead of communicating with the dead through a crystal ball, she rubs her hands over her breast implants.
Exactly. And they light up and everything.
Exactly.
Stormy Daniels now claims that she is a medium and that she communicates with dead people and has participated in a TV series about the paranormal where she explores things, including the fact that at one point an ex-boyfriend of hers was inhabited by spirits. Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy.
That's MSNBC. MSNBC's, I like how she said, this is MSNBC's legal analyst. Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy. I'll play this one last time, but the emphasis on the way they say Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy.
I love it.
Now claims that she is a medium and that she communicates with dead people and has participated in a TV series about the paranormal where she explores things, including the fact that at one point an ex-boyfriend of hers was inhabited by spirits. Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy.
She is crazy.
Got that right.
So I think Trump's attorneys did a very good job with this witness.
I will say that I'm going to watch. I don't watch The Five anymore because I cannot stand Dana Perino. When she's, I don't even know if she's on it anymore.
Yeah,
but
is.
I'm going to watch it today because Judge Janine was in the courthouse today. Was in the during the trial with Trump, and I want to see her take on it. You know, she's a judge, but a lot of people are in there. Greg Kelly, I think, is there every day. And Rick Scott was there today. So a lot of people are in there supporting Trump.
Greg Kelly, actually, I want to play a clip of Greg Kelly. And of course, Greg Kelly, I believe Greg Kelly, through all of this lawfare, has broken the biggest story of all. And I guess it's been about a year, close to a year now. He broke how few documents they were going after Mar-a-Lago. You know, whenever you see anything about the break-in of Mar-a-Lago and they talk about the classified documents, they show stacks and stacks of boxes. They show a stage filled with boxes. By the way, I've been to that stage where those boxes were. They show the bathroom up to the wall and everything. Those are the Trump's personal items, right? They're photographs, shoes, underwear, toiletries, whatever they have when they move. And Greg Kelly pointed out that about little less than one half of one of those boxes had classified documents. And remember that? It was amazing. So Greg Kelly, who's a strong MAGA guy, and I think him and Rob Schmidt are the two best in the history of cable news. Their programs are better than
Greg Kelly's back on at 9.
Is he?
By the way, yeah, I just checked.
Oh, yeah, I think he's been there for a while.
That's good.
So Greg Kelly was in the courtroom today, and he was on Newsmax outside, during a recess, and described, this was during the recess today, described what happened. And he did something that no one else did, but I know I did when I was in the room with Donald Trump, and everybody in the room I was in did it, but nobody else did. I thought it was really interesting, but he relays his experience. This is Greg Kelly on Newsmax during the recess. He was in the courtroom in the morning.
Guys, welcome in and take it away. What are you hearing right now from Stormy on the stand?
Yeah, thank you so much, Bianca. Greg Kelly got a front row seat here for day 2 of the cross-examination here. Stormy Daniels, set the scene for us. What's it like in there?
Well, I wasn't quite in the front row. I was about 7 or 8 rows back, but still got to see everything. Look, I hate that this trial is happening, but that it's happening, I'm very glad I saw what I saw today. Stormy Daniels was, I believe, destroyed on the stand. Look, lots of security. The security is excellent, I'm pleased to say. There was this minor incident caused by me. When President Trump walks into the courtroom, I naturally stood up.
Okay, now that's the thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When the president walks in the room, you stand up.
Absolutely.
Everybody does.
Absolutely.
It's just, you do it automatically, and he stood up, and nobody else did.
The only one to do that. You're not supposed to do that. I was quickly admonished by pretty much everybody to sit down, people in uniform, and that's fine. I mean, would be nice, but we're going to obviously
They
adhere.
almost kicked you out of there before things got going.
Touch and go for a while, but anyway, and then it becomes a trial, and that can be very tedious, you know? And so Stormy Daniels yesterday, apparently, or the day before, was a bit of a wreck, talking too fast, all the salacious details, which truly were irrelevant. I think what happened today, Necklace tried to make it a financial
Necklace is the attorney. Right?
thing for her. Right. I don't think she scored too many points, Trump's defense attorney, Necklace, President Trump's defense attorney, on that score. But as to the event, whether or not it actually happened in Lake Tahoe in 2006, I believe that Stormy Daniels revealed herself to be a complete and total liar. Nothing made sense. Nothing added up. There have been discrepancies. She's told this story to a lot of people over the years.
Well, there was that In Touch interview from 2011, right, where a lot of this was discredited.
2011, and a lot of people have overlooked that interview, myself included, all right? We focus on the Anderson Cooper interview. We focus on Jimmy Kimmel. What happened in that In Touch interview is remarkable. I mean, one small point, but it's not really small. She's told 1 million people that Donald Trump did not get her dinner. They were supposed to have dinner. She tells In Touch that we had dinner. We talked over dinner. And a million other discrepancies. The idea that...
Now that's a big one, because I've heard her say on one of the interviews, he still owes me dinner. So when she did this interview years before in 2011, she said they had dinner.
Right. And she also admitted on the stand under oath that she did sign that document stating that she did not have sex with him. She was asked that on talk shows, and she wouldn't admit either way. So under oath, she said, yes, I did sign that.
Yeah, because she's afraid going to jail for perjury.
So
and this thing about the dinner, as minor as the media are going to, they're not even reporting this other than Greg Kelly. He's the only one I've heard report this so far. That's huge, because it shows a major change in her story, because she told In Touch in 2011 that they had dinner, and then all this happened. Now part of her story is that he was so quick to have sex with her that he skipped the dinner. And that shows that she's lying. That's a big one.
Woman who's been in 150 adult films would be so flabbergasted to see a man in his T-shirt in a hotel room. Exactly. It made no sense. And Necklace said that. Look, you've been around naked people. Let's face it, your entire professional career. You're an assertive woman. You had just been kind of telling him who's boss. Yeah. And now the blood flows out of your brain. It made no sense whatsoever.
Made no sense. And she's going to be back here on the stand. They took a quick little break here.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought Greg Kelly had some good reporting there.
MSNBC is so far gone that Lawrence O'Donnell actually compared her to a nun.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, what a sick bastard he is. This woman has, like he said, has been in 150 pornos, and she's demure. She's trying to put herself off as demure. And Larry O'Donnell, who I don't watch, but he's an a-hole, he actually compared her to a nun.
I saw that.
Can you believe what a sick guy that is?
Yeah.
I mean, who does he think is going to believe that kind of BS?
I think
Does he believe it? Does he really believe she is that innocent?
he's trying to score like a
Score with her,
a
maybe?
date and an interview or something.
My God.
I mean, that I saw when he said that. That was after her first day.
Oh my Lord!
Testimony.
How sickening.
And
Let me tell you,
it's offensive too.
Once she's done, and they've used her up. This is what's so sad, and the left doesn't care. This is a woman who's been used her whole life. This is her way of life. She's in constant survival mode. She's a very typical street sex worker. Been used by people, not in a good way. Not that being used is ever good, but you know what I mean. She has convinced herself that she is an empowered woman, and this whole storyline that she created has just gone way out of proportion. And she's at the point now where I think she has handlers like Paula Jones had, and they're directing her completely and telling her what to say, coaching her, and she's so far in now that she can't get out. And like I said, I think this whole thing with the medium is her next business venture she's trying to get into, because I think she just wants out of this mess.
Well, she's got some TV thing she's trying to do.
Exactly. They'll be done with her. They'll throw her away, and when they're done with her, and they'll never talk to her again. There's
someone we know. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to embarrass them too much, but there's someone we know that are YouTubers, and they got on one of these psychic shows. One of the people in their family was supposedly psychic, and they did this whole thing where they could hear things and see things. It's all BS.
It was total fake.
So I mean, we know
Totally
these people.
fake.
We know these people.
Yeah, they're trying to get into acting and get famous, and it was nothing on TV is real,
especially
guys.
reality TV.
Nothing on TV. Even what's happening in this trial, it's all baloney.
This trial. See, this is the thing about this. This trial is amazing because right now we're in this phase where now again, anything can happen. We don't know too much about the jury, but I think based on everything that's been reported, you have MSNBC saying that Stormy Daniels, who's their star witness, is crazy and a liar. And they said it now. We could get an acquittal from this. So I think what the judge is working with the prosecution, obviously. I mean, his daughter took the $10 million and she's still making money from the Biden-Harris Adam Schiff campaign. That cannot be said enough. It's got to be said. Every time I mention
even Rick
the judge,
Scott mentioned it this morning.
Yeah. Our Senator Rick Scott was with the president today in New York. I think that they're trying to get a mistrial. The prosecution and the judge, they want a mistrial. And the reason they want a mistrial is if they get an acquittal, it's over. He's acquitted. If there's a mistrial, they can still keep the cloud over his head with it.
Or they can start over and regroup.
Correct.
And leave her out of it.
Correct. And go for it again. But I think as of today, now again, anything can happen. We don't know who's on the jury. We know they're New Yorkers, which ain't good, right? But right now, acquittal is possible, which is something we never thought was possible when this began in this kangaroo court.
Well, if he is convicted, then you will know, if you have any doubts, without a doubt, that this is a political hit job. Because there is no evidence of anything. Everything's a disaster. The media has been trying to sell you, but I think you're right. All of a sudden now they're changing gears because they just can't defend this. I mean, they just can't come out with a straight face. And believe me, they've tried a million different ways to make it look good. And, you can put lipstick on a pig, right? And the famous saying by Sarah Palin, they can't make this package work. It's not working. Nobody's buying it. So I think you're right. I think they might do a mistrial, but I don't know. Trump's team put in for a mistrial yesterday, and the judge denied it. He had a chance after her testimony.
No.
So maybe they're so deluded, like Lawrence O'Donnell, who thinks she's a freaking nun. I mean, these are deluded people, Brian. They're not rational.
The judge just can't declare a mistrial. His daughter took the $10 million. He's got to get permission and the okay from whoever his handler is. Now,
Yes, he has to hear from whoever. Exactly.
I want to thank our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. Thank you so much, everyone. Your support is greatly appreciated. And if you would like to support the program by becoming a Patreon supporter, there is a link in the description of this and every episode. And Patreon supporters have access to commercial-free editions of each and every podcast episode. There's a lot of other perks and benefits, too. Kathy and I both independently post things to Patreon all the time that nobody else sees on top of the commercial-free episodes. And our top Patreon supporters get live on-air thank you shout-outs on each and every podcast. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, and Brandon. Thank you so much. And again, if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of the episode. And there were some of our Patreon supporters on the cruise with me last week. I had a great time.
Yes, very nice.
Okay, now there's an unrelated story. This is really, did you see this story about the Catholic school boys and the blackface?
Yes, I did.
You know, I want to share this. There is a real hardcore bigotry that has been justified by the powers that be against white people, in particular white males in this country. It's happening all the time. I mean, come on. It's getting out of control.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going on.
And we've seen this happen time and time again. Remember Nick Sandman, all that stuff. These Catholic schoolboys were forced out of school, publicly shamed for wearing blackface. There was a photograph of them. It was not blackface. It was green acne gel.
Right.
Acne cream.
Like a mask.
And when I was a teenager, on occasion, I did that, right? I got the Clearasil, that had little white stuff on it. But I remember sometimes I'd have it where it was the green mask. And they took a picture with the green acne mask on.
Yeah, I used to do masks all the time in high school. They're a thing. Like I do once a week. It like detoxes your skin.
And they took a picture, and it's kind of a funny thing to do. I think a lot of kids do. And you can tell by looking at the picture, it's green, not black. But they still got in trouble.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, so listen to this. The California teenagers who were forced to withdraw from an elite Catholic high school over accusations of blackface have been awarded $1 million and tuition reimbursement. I wonder if it's $1 million each.
Good.
The Santa Clara County jury sided with the teens and they're teens, so in other names. The boys sued St. Francis High School.
Good for them.
In August 2020 after photos circulated of them sporting acne treatment masks. The controversy started when the boys were accused of performing blackface and ultimately pressured into withdrawing from the school. It was clear the jury believed that these were innocent face masks. And the problem with this is it's all over the internet. It's even in this picture. And the way things work with the internet, when some false accusation like this is made, it's in the record forever. And $1 million is not enough. Even $1 million each is not enough if that's what they got.
Look at that Sandman kid.
Well, he got enough money. He never has to work. But these boys, for the rest of their lives, they're going to get jobs. They're going to have careers, and then this is going to come up at some point.
Well,
it's
this
just the way
might
it is.
help them because they clearly were in the right. And in the same vein, there was a video. You got to assume you're being recorded everywhere you go.
I do.
These days.
I always do.
There was a video that went viral at, I think, University of Mississippi. There was a black girl on the campus protesting. She was overweight. And some dumb frat guy, which they're all pretty stupid at that age, was jumping up and down and making gorilla noises at her.
Oh my
okay,
goodness. Well, that's
not the
smart.
smartest thing to do, obviously. I mean, I'm sure he was drunk, like most frat guys are all the time, and just hamming it up for his friends. Still, stupid thing to do.
Could have been like pig sounds, like he was making fun of her weight.
No, I think it was like monkey sounds.
Oh my
okay,
goodness. Well, that was
so
pretty
it was
stupid.
not a good idea for him, and definitely not nice. Okay, so somebody recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
It is like 10 seconds. It was in the Daily Mail. It went viral. He was kicked out of school. He was kicked out of his fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
They doxed him in the Daily Mail. They have his name.
Oh my
they
goodness.
have like 10 pictures of this guy off his social media. His whole social media profile. This guy will never get a job, ever. So I'm not saying what he did was right. It was stupid and definitely not right. But what is worse, what he did to that girl, or what the woke media is doing to him now?
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten to this weird place in society where people feel completely justified in destroying somebody's life.
Oh, yeah.
Over something that they do we all have, of course, I've never made fun of people like that or, try to be a nice person, but we've all done dumb things.
When you're
Thank
a kid?
God nobody was around
please.
with phones when I was in college.
I've done a lot of dumb things as a kid. Are you kidding?
And we've all done stupid things, especially when your friends are around and you drink and you act silly. So this guy's entire life will be destroyed. I don't know if he can sue. He might sue the University of Mississippi or the fraternity, but the problem is colleges and fraternities actually do have code of conduct standards, and they can throw you out based on those things. So unlike the Catholic guys who were misjudged and lied about, this guy is on video. He actually is jumping up and down like a monkey and making noises like an idiot.
That's pretty bad.
So I'm not defending him, but I'm just saying, is it really worth destroying this kid's? He's like 22 years old. They even put his major, everything about him. He will never have a normal life now.
You can't, this is the thing.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel weird about it.
Obviously, what he did is inexcusable. But to destroy a young man's life from now for the next 100 years, 80 years or whatever, because of 10 seconds of some stupid prank that he did when he was drunk, I think is a little overblown.
And who's going to marry this guy now? He's a good-looking young guy, average looking. He's not ugly. He's just an average-looking guy. But what girl's going to marry this guy now that this happened? I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's not good what he did. So I got a black daughter. I'm not defending it. And if somebody did that to my daughter, believe me, I'd want to wrap him in the mouth. I'd be really upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's justifiable to put it in the Daily Mail. And the article they did on this guy was so lengthy, and they had like 10 pictures of him, his full bio.
That's it. It's pretty heavy.
I mean, I just thought it was a little ridiculous to do that to this kid, but that's what sells now.
Yeah.
He was dumb enough to do it, but just always assume you're being recorded, because everybody's got a phone. Everything is taken. Not that there's any proper context for what he did, but people start recording when the exciting stuff starts happening. So there's not context. Not that this is any context that would be good for it, but you understand what I'm saying. Like if there's road rage or something, people are going to start recording when the rage starts happening. They're not going to show you what built up to it or what led up to it or what happened. Just like the Nick Sandmann thing. He was just standing there, and that Native American guy got right in his face and was beating a drum. And now he was a minor, and that was a different situation, and he was a right to sue, and I'm glad he won. But I wonder if this kid will do anything about it. I just don't know.
Well, the thing with Sandmann is it was the media, so he sued the major networks and everything.
Well, this is the Daily Mail. He's 22. Can he sue them?
They got a lot of deep pockets and stuff, and I don't know, but I do know that Sandmann was a minor too.
If you're a private citizen,
and this is an adult, so
right, and you're an adult, and you're a private citizen, and somebody records you without your permission, but it's in public, you're out in public. I mean, do they have the right to use it to destroy you? It's crazy.
I saw a story
scary
today. I just saw this on Twitter, on X, okay? And I don't want to get sidetracked into this particular story, so I'm not going to get into the individuals. I haven't looked into it too much. But these YouTubers apparently are doing their own version of To Catch a Predator, okay?
Oh, yes.
And they confronted this old man who they said is a movie producer.
Produced Space Jam. Yeah. I saw this video.
With a teenage girl.
He's like 80 years old.
They say that's who I don't know that's who the guy is. That's who they say he is, and they confront him and everything else. And this is a very dangerous thing that they're doing, okay? I mean, people have become with social media, and by the way, social media includes all the video platforms and everything. They've become bullies, and some of this stuff has gotten way, way out of control. Like these guys that have all of a sudden decided they're the To Catch a Predator guys. I mean, I'm sure they got good intentions and they could do good things, but when you're a private individual doing this, you can get yourself into some trouble. Like Dateline NBC, it wasn't just that guy and a cameraman. They had security, trained security, professional security. People have, because of the power of the internet, have become destroyers of people's lives
for clicks and
views and likes and money, because there's money in it. Now, listen, we're going to take a break. There's a major story with Robert Kennedy Jr. we're going to get into after the break. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be back right after this.
In the heart of Sin City, where the lights dazzle and dreams are made, there's a shadow lurking beneath the glitz and the glamour. In Shadow Beneath the Lights, a Vegas cabbie noir from author Andrew P. McKenzie. Meet a weary cab driver navigating the neon-lit streets of Las Vegas. He'll take you through the gritty underworld of Vegas, where every fare is a gamble and every passenger a mystery just waiting to unfold. You'll follow a seasoned cab driver as he travels through the city, encountering a cast of characters as colorful as the lights that illuminate the strip. From shady tourists to hardened locals, each passenger brings with them a tale of desire, deception, and danger. But as he navigates the twists and turns of the city's streets, he soon realizes that the biggest gamble of all might be the one that he takes on himself. Can he break free of the cycle of monotony and find redemption in a city built on vice and excess? Find out when you read Shadow Beneath the Lights, a Vegas cabbie noir from author Andrew P. McKenzie. Available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. Take a ride on the wild side and discover the secrets lurking in the shadows of Sin City. Shadow Beneath the Lights. The only thing darker than the night is the truth. Are you looking for that perfect personalized gift that's sure to make a lasting impression? Look no further than Callahan Engraving on Etsy. With a vast selection of engraved gifts, Callahan Engraving on Etsy have something for everyone. They offer complimentary engraving, presentation boxes, and free shipping on orders over $35. Whether it's for a special occasion or just to show someone you care, Callahan Engraving has you covered. You can choose from over 1,000 unique items, including awards, plaques, tumblers, cutting boards. They even have picture frames. Each gift is engraved with love and great attention to detail, ensuring it comes out exactly as you envision. If you're in search of a truly special gift, one that's personalized and sure to be treasured, visit Callahan Engraving on Etsy. Online at etsy.com/shop/Callahan Engraving. Etsy.com/shop/Callahan Engraving. How would you like to earn passive income? Jacqueline, the powerhouse behind Digital Brand Gal, turned her passion into profit, and she wants to teach you how to do it too. Follow her journey on Instagram at Digital Brand Gal, where she shares valuable insights into the world of digital marketing. Jacqueline's mission is to empower women just like you to unlock the potential of passive income through her expertly crafted courses and guides that are available at stan.store/Digital Brand Gal. Imagine launching your own business in just a few hours with the potential to earn money while you sleep. Jacqueline provides you with all the resources to kickstart your journey to financial freedom. Jacqueline's courses are your ticket to a business that runs on autopilot. Get a sneak peek into the course that changed Jacqueline's life by messaging her on Instagram at Digital Brand Gal, or go to stan.store/Digital Brand Gal. Share her Instagram and website on all your social media so your friends can learn how to make passive income too. It's time to take control of your financial future. Go to stan.store/Digital Brand Gal and on Instagram at Digital Brand Gal. Join a community of empowered women who are taking control of their financial futures by going to stan.store/Digital Brand Gal and Digital Brand Gal on Instagram.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. All right, so RFK Jr., he gave this bizarre interview. And I'll play you a clip of it in a minute. But all right, well, let me play the clip and then we'll talk about it. Okay,
yeah,
let's play the clip
idea.
because we talked. This is RFK interview. It's trending on X and everything, so you probably have seen this. Is just a clip of it, but this is the relevant part of the interview.
But so in other words, keeping it as is with Roe versus Wade having been overturned and leaving it up to the states to determine if and when a woman can have an abortion?
No, I wouldn't leave it to the states.
You wouldn't, right?
No, I would.
You would say completely. It's up to the woman.
I believe we should leave it to the woman. We shouldn't have government involved,
even if it's full term.
Even if it's full term.
Okay,
wow.
That is
so full term. I mean, that means what, like second before birth, or
I don't think I've
during
ever.
Birth? What if you're having labor pains and the baby hasn't come out yet? Is that okay to have an abortion then?
Full term means
like as it's being born, even if as long as it's in the womb. Like if a woman's having labor pains and she goes to the hospital to give birth, it's still in the womb. It's okay.
Who knows? He might mean that you could give birth and the baby has a problem and you could kill the baby.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Well, okay. Now,
or you just decide, you know what? I don't want that kid. Go.
Well, this is
take care of business.
Very strange.
What a sick bastard.
And his father and his uncle, President Kennedy, would be very disappointed. They were very strongly pro-life. Ted Kennedy, but this will sound crazy to people.
Yeah, they're supposed to be Catholic.
Ted Kennedy, when he was first in the Senate, he was an outspoken pro-life Democrat because Roe v. Wade had not happened yet, and then even when it was just happening, and he actually ran for office, Ted Kennedy, as a pro-life Democrat.
How far they've come.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what he said there is a good thing, and as crazy as that sounds, a good thing. He's not going to be president of anything. Okay. The only thing I would like to see him do is President Trump declassify all the documents from both Kennedy assassinations and make him like the chair of the committee going through it. I would be fine with that. Here's the thing with that. The purpose of RFK being in the race at all, okay, he has this running mate, this internet lady that's got unlimited funds, is they've convinced themselves, for some reason, I know one reason, I'll tell you, but when I say they, I mean the Democrats have convinced themselves, and the media too, that Robert Kennedy Jr. will take votes away from Trump. And they've wanted him in the race in some key areas, hoping that he would take some MAGA votes. And Robert Kennedy has been very outspoken against Fauci, even wrote a book about it. So their thinking was, because you got to understand, these anti-Trump psychos, okay, they think that MAGA people are crazy. MAGA people are not crazy, but they think MAGA people are. So you got to think like they do. They think because Robert Kennedy Jr. is so anti-Fauci and even wrote a book about it, that a lot of MAGA people who were very much against vaccines and stuff will vote for him. Enough would vote for him to hurt Trump in key areas. And what he just said here, which is trending on Twitter, everyone's talking about this thing with RFK, ends that. Okay.
Believe me, the Democrats are pissed. Pissed.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to say this.
No. I can't imagine any MAGA person voting for somebody who feels that way.
Abortion, full term, even.
I cannot imagine.
Most Democrats don't even support that, right? I mean, that's a very extreme position.
Heard a politician, other than that Virginia guy,
some of them support,
but outwardly admit it though in an interview like that.
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, not in a long time. Not in a long time. It's not very fashionable. And his position is very radical, even in most Democrat circles.
Pretty sick.
Full term. So his campaign is effectively over. And not that he was going to win, but what I mean is you're going to find his campaign fading and fading and fading because he's no longer going to be useful to them because of this.
You know, liberals have always viewed people as dispensable.
Yes, that's true.
Even I'm reading a book now on I'm reading two books. I'm reading one by Eric Larson, which is new, about Lincoln and the Civil War. Even though his intro is anti-Trump, whatever, but
really?
It's still a good book.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm reading this book about the Gilded Age, which started right after the Civil War. So I'm all into the Civil War stuff, and I've been listening to podcasts and stuff. And it talks a lot about Democrats. I'm even reading Gone with the Wind too. It talks about Democrats owning slaves and a lot about how they felt towards the black people, and their opinion of them has never changed. You had Governor Hochul, said the other day that black people don't even know what computers are.
She said there are black kids in the Bronx that don't even know what a computer is. Yeah.
If you're a black person, let me tell you, Democrats have always thought you were stupid.
They still do.
And they still do.
Yeah.
They still think you're stupid. Maybe you'll wake up and realize how bigoted they are. I mean, I read an article. We get the New York Post now every day, and I read an article by a black guy talking about Hochul, how appalled he was, and how he doesn't understand how people in his community can defend the Democrats. I mean, when you read historical books and you read the history of how the Democrats have treated the black people up even to today, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. They have successfully brainwashed a lot of black people into believing that we're the bigots, which is ridiculous. Like, people call you have callers on the radio show, some black callers, and they say, Trump's in the Klan, Trump this, Dad was in the Klan, and this, and you ask for specifics of him being a racist. They can never give you one. In fact, Don King just endorsed Donald Trump. They can never give you specifics because it's not true. But you can make a laundry list a mile long of things that the Democrats have done to the black community that are bad. They've destroyed the black community. They think that, I've said this before, they think black people are like pets, and they treat you like that way. They manipulate you, they lie to you, they use you. Wake up. The Republicans, that's the party of Lincoln. That's the party that freed the slaves. That's the party that ended Jim Crow. That's the party that gave the black person the right to vote. You've got to learn your history and stop being spoon-fed the lies by the left who think Stormy Daniels is as innocent as a nun. These are sick people. They're evil. They will say whatever they have to say to have power over you. Read some books. It's very enlightening. And, you know, I don't know everything. I was an art history major, but I'm very interested in history. I know a lot about Leonardo da Vinci, but I'm really learning a lot about American history now. And it's fascinating how much is documented about how Democrats treated blacks through the 50s, the 60s, and they still vote for them.
This thing with Robert Kennedy, if it were not for the Democrats' support of abortion, the black population would be more than twice what it is today in this country. The black population has remained about 12 or 13% of the population overall our entire lives, and in large part, it's maintained that small percentage because of abortion. And Robert Kennedy, he was supposed to be the third-party Ross Perot spoiler of Trump in their mind, and it's over now with that. It's over, and that's that. It should boom. Well, Robert Kennedy has been a useful idiot to them, but he's too arrogant to know it, right? Because he's a Kennedy, and he thought he was running a real campaign. And, it's an interesting thing, though, how these Democrats have convinced themselves that the biggest issue in this election is abortion, too. Have you noticed that? For some reason, they think abortion is the number one issue Americans are concerned about. I don't think it's a settled issue. Roe v. Wade has been overturned. And I would say people that are most likely to vote according to abortion being too restrictive are in these blue states. And since Roe v. Wade is overturned in these Democrat states, they have more liberal abortion laws than they had before Roe v. Wade was overturned. So they're happy, right?
Well, Florida is tightening it to 6 weeks, which is a good thing.
Well, this is a red state.
And I wanted to, Biden just did an interview with CNN. He's so out of it. He's sitting there, the Aaron or with whoever interviewed
Aaron
him.
Rodgers?
No, the girl who interviewed
Aaron
him.
Burnett.
She was telling him how, the economy's bad and he's polling bad and people can't afford things and this and that. And they just showed a clip earlier on the news of Ronald Reagan attacking Carter for ignoring inflation. And he said, you're ignoring what people are telling you and you're not dealing with it. And it's going to cost you the election. And that's what's going to happen here. And David Axelrod today said that Biden's ego is going to cost him the election because he can't admit that he's making mistakes. Do you think he knows what's happening and he's ignoring it knowingly? Or do you think that they're not telling him what's going on?
It's a mix. It's a mix of both.
Because I think he lives in a bubble, and I think they're showing him fake polls. They want to keep him happy.
Maybe.
And I think they're telling him everything's great and everything's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think he really doesn't know what's going on.
It's possible. Now, Jack Smith was something just happened with Jack Smith, and Jack Posobiec tweeted this, and I want to share this and tell you why this is happening. Jack Posobiec just a little bit ago tweeted this: breaking, Speaker Johnson tells Politico he will not eliminate funding for special counsel Jack Smith. Okay. And a lot of people are going to jump on that and say, well, wait a minute, Trump just came out and reprimanded Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday about keeping Johnson as speaker. What's this all about?
Yep.
And this is what I would tell you this is probably about. You got to understand, yesterday, President Trump came out in strong support of Mike Johnson over Marjorie Taylor Greene's objections, okay? So that means we always got to follow Trump's lead. Trump is winning these cases. You know, Jack Smith's first case, which is supposed to be their biggest one, is the documents case, and that just fell apart with the judge here in Florida. So if they cut the funding for Jack Smith, which is meaningless because Jack Smith is through the Justice Department, the Justice Department will just take the money from somewhere else and pay him, okay? Jack Smith's cases are evaporating. Trump is being cleared.
Right.
So if you
want them to play out, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Trump wants Jack Smith's cases to play out
that
because
makes sense.
he wants
the truth to
he
come
wants
out.
to be cleared. He doesn't want some technicality
Hanging over his head. Right.
I think Jack Smith and the Justice Department, Merrick Garland, would like the Republicans to cut the funding so they have an excuse to stop this witch hunt. I think that Jack Smith and these lawfare people have now realized they've screwed themselves and they want an out, and this would give them an out. So no, Mike Johnson probably is continuing to fund Jack Smith with the approval of President Trump.
So
does that make sense?
Yes. And according to your theory, Trump is working very closely with Mike Johnson.
He obviously
and whispering in his ear. So do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene is out of that loop, or she ignored? Do you think Trump, because for Trump to go on Truth Social and publicly come out and kind of humiliate her in a way and say that out in the open makes me think that he's been talking to her and she's ignoring what he's telling
maybe
her. You know what I mean? Like she's doing what she wants anyway.
Maybe he's just so tied up with all these.
Or is she out of the loop?
He could be just so tied up with these court cases that he hadn't gotten a chance to call her. I don't know. But I think Mike Johnson isn't doing much of anything without Trump's approval involving something like that. Now, I want to tell you guys about MyPillow. Oh, man. You know, I was telling you the other day, that mattress I had on the cruise is a mattress that costs thousands of dollars. It's a good mattress, but it doesn't compare to having the MyPillow mattress topper on our cheap mattress. We have an inexpensive mattress. It's one of those mattresses.
It's average. It's not cheap, but it's not like a $2,000.
No, it's one of those.
It's just an average box mattress.
It's one of those mattresses that you order that comes in a box and you open it up and then you got to let it fill with air
kind of.
and all that stuff. I mean, that's a cheap, Kathy. It's not like come on. So the MyPillow mattress topper has turned our inexpensive rollout mattress basically into an upscale luxury mattress that is more comfortable than one that cost thousands of dollars. And if you have a lumpy, bumpy mattress, if you have a mattress that's old, if you have a mattress that's uncomfortable, get yourself the MyPillow mattress topper. It's 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Now, you can use our promo code for all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the mattress topper, okay? And there's some huge deals going on. But the MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off right now with our promo code Kane. It comes in all mattress sizes. And I'm not exaggerating this at all because when I came home and after being away for 8 days and went to bed and laid down on our mattress, I could tell immediately I was on a cloud. It turns your entire bed into a MyPillow. And I think most people out there, mattresses, they're not inexpensive. Even when I say our mattress is cheap and inexpensive, it's not like $50. Even an inexpensive mattress is expensive. So before you run out and buy a new mattress, you very well may not need one. Get yourself a MyPillow mattress topper, 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at MyPillow.com.
I have a great idea real quick. Graduation is coming up. I know my nephew's going to FSU, which is awesome because that's my alma mater and my sister's alma mater in the fall. And I think that's a great gift for a graduate because the dorm beds are awful. Get them the mattress topper and the sheets and a couple towels. And I'm telling you, and the pillows, they will be all set and they will be so thankful. It'll be the best thing you could do for them if you have a kid going away to school. Honest to God, get them the mattress topper and the pillow and the sheets, and they'll be loving life.
All right, we're going to take our last break and be right back.
If you're a fan of The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest and Ink and Bone, then you'll want to add the book from author S.Z. Estevillo to your must-read list. In The Serpent's Bridge, meet Detective Nazario. Haunted by her father's unsolved murder, a case that has consumed her for 24 years, she's determined to uncover the truth. The killer, she believes, is still out there, targeting innocent lives. Now, as Mexican immigrants fall prey to a serial killer, Nazario senses a chilling connection. Sanctuary Baptist, known as a haven for immigrants, holds secrets that could unravel the case. Teaming up with her former lover, Special Agent Blake Huxley, the stakes are higher than ever. Can she stop the murders before more families are torn apart? Is this the same killer who murdered her father and left him for dead under a bridge? Pre-order your copy today on Amazon and follow S.Z. Estevillo on Goodreads. Put it on your want-to-read list and prepare for a thriller where the past and present collide with deadly consequences. Are you ready to enter a world of creativity and inspiration? Then visit meowmotionstudio.store on Etsy. Meow Motion Studio was founded by Emily and her beloved cat. She's an incredible artist, and despite facing the challenges of being paralyzed, Emily's creative spirit knows no bounds. Along with her beloved cat Clementine by her side, Emily brings you a unique collection of digital art and accessories that are sure to captivate your heart. From beautiful cat designs to clothing and accessories inspired by Jesus, there's something for everyone in Emily's store. Explore the Jesus collection that features t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies for both men and women. In the Divine Treasures section, you'll find notebooks, coffee cups, art, and more. And for you parents, they have something for the little ones too. The Meow Baby collection features adorable fluffy orange cat baby blankets and baby bodysuits. Step into perfection with Meow Motion Studio, offering cat-themed sneakers and joggers for women. With Meow Motion Studio, the possibilities are endless. Visit the store right now online at meowmotionstudio.store and discover the magic for yourself. You won't be disappointed. You'll find great gifts too. meowmotionstudio.store. Are you tired of struggling with your dog's behavior? Most people assume that behavior issues with their dogs is normal, but that's not the case. There's a groundbreaking new book that could transform your relationship with your furry family member. The American Dog Epidemic: Why Dog Behavior Goes Wrong and a Path to Rescue Us All. From author Jackie Eckert. Available on Amazon. In The American Dog Epidemic, author Jackie Eckert challenges the norm and discusses the real issues behind our dogs' behavior problems. When you read The American Dog Epidemic, you'll discover innovative insights on how dogs think and learn. You'll also unlock practical training solutions that actually work. Say goodbye to all those ineffective training methods and welcome a revolutionary shift in understanding. The American Dog Epidemic also busts common myths and misconceptions that may contribute to the problem. Give yourself and your dog the lives that you deserve, and order your copy of The American Dog Epidemic: Why Dog Behavior Goes Wrong and a Path to Rescue Us All. From author Jackie Eckert. Available on Amazon and Kindle, hardcover, and audiobook.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Okay, Joe Biden, this is a clip from that Aaron Burnett interview on CNN. This is how out of it he is. He's talking about Trump. She's asking him about Donald Trump.
How seriously do you take that threat?
Seriously, just like I did January 6th. The guy is not a Democrat with a small d. He is the idea, look, you can't only love your country when you win.
Okay. So he's not a Democrat with a small d.
Did he just say Trump is well endowed?
No. He's saying...
That's what it sounded like to me.
We have rhinos, Republicans in name only. The Democrat version of that, like somebody that's like a weak Democrat, is a Democrat with a small d.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
The only small d I've heard about is...
No. No, I haven't heard that.
Like big D energy,
No.
small D energy.
No,
yes.
a Democrat. He said Democrat with a small D. I
Never
haven't
heard
heard that in a long time.
I have never heard that.
Yeah, I haven't heard it in a long time, like since the 90s. But that's how out of it he is. He's saying
my
that
goodness
Trump
gracious.
is a Democrat.
He's saying Trump's a Democrat.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay.
That's how.
It just makes no
I mean,
sense.
that's what I'm hearing. I mean, if you could take it another way,
I think he meant it the way I said it.
Well, you guys can let us know in the comments
Just
which
joking.
one you think. But I think he
Oh, my
meant
goodness.
that
whatever he meant, it made no sense.
Yeah. I mean, they keep talking about Trump accepting results. Are they going to accept a not guilty verdict?
No.
Right? I don't think so. Are they going to accept it?
Well, what they do is like when the Supreme Court ruled in Trump's favor unanimously. I can't even remember what that was for. A couple months ago, they just didn't even talk about it anymore. They just move on to the next thing. Like whenever they're wrong on the left, they don't talk about it. They move on to the next. They don't, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, let's not waste our energy on that because it's a done deal. And
now, yeah, I agree.
Create the next lie.
Now, Rick Scott, he's the senator from Florida, was with President Trump in New York today. He had a brief press conference. He's one of our senators, but he was our governor before DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a 2-term governor, Rick Scott. Now he's our senator. And he was a very good governor. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the stuff he did because if you're not – and he didn't get involved in the national issues like DeSantis has, but he did a lot of things. Like I give one – the biggest thing he did, it all involves hurricanes. And he did a lot of things. So when we don't lose electricity like we used to lose in hurricanes – the reason that you lose electricity during hurricanes is trees fall down on the power lines.
Right.
And in Florida, for the most part, native Florida trees don't fall, believe it or not. You ever see those things where the palm trees bend all the way down to the ground?
Palm trees don't fall down, that's for
Very
sure.
rarely.
I've never seen one. They bend a little, but they can withstand hurricane winds.
Most of them can. It depends on how long they've been planted.
Ours
and
don't
such.
move.
Oh, no. Our palm trees have been through the dozens of hurricanes because some of them have been in the house. But anyway, the trees that fall are usually, not always, but mainly non-natives. But anyway, Rick Scott, when he was governor, put in place a program, and it still goes on today, of trimming down all the trees throughout the state of Florida around power lines. And in the hurricanes that we've had since he did that, we haven't lost power because trees have not been falling on power lines like they used to.
Plus, they replaced all the poles from wood to concrete.
Yes.
They did
power
that all
poles.
in our neighborhood right after hurricane. When he was governor.
Throughout the entire state. They're still doing this, a multi-year process, but the power line poles being moved from upgraded from wood to concrete keeps them from falling.
Yes.
And so when we have hurricanes really aren't that big of a deal for the most part.
Well, for us, they're pretty bad if you're in Haiti.
Well, that's a third world country. When you get hit with hurricanes, obviously there are hardcore hurricanes that are. But Kathy and I don't know anyone who's lost a house. In my entire life, I've only known a couple of people who have lost a complete roof.
Well, what about Hurricane Andrew?
And one of the people I know that lost a roof was during Hurricane Andrew, but that was like 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, almost. So it does. That's a long time ago. I mean, it doesn't happen that. So what he did on hurricane. Another thing he did is the second problem after hurricanes is that gas stations, the gas pumps don't work if the electricity's out. Mm-hmm. So all the gas stations have generators now, so that they could power their gas pumps after a hurricane and all this stuff. So he did. These aren't national controversial issues like Ron DeSantis taking on the trans lobby and all that. I get it, but when I bring this up for a very good reason, okay? Rick Scott is the most competent governor we've ever had in Florida, and the things he did, like I just explained to you, are amazing. So I saw him today in New York. He had a brief press conference. I thought he handled himself very well, and I'm starting to wonder, is he on the vice president shortlist?
I would,
because all of a sudden he's out of the blue, Rick Scott.
Well, he was on the news this morning doing interviews.
He was on Fox and Friends.
Yeah, and which I didn't watch, obviously, because I was watching you.
Exactly.
And then he was with Trump in the courthouse.
Yeah, had the press conference.
I don't know. We're not going to know. There's so many names floating around.
He could be in the cabinet.
I would be very happy with that decision.
Hey,
but I don't know if Rick Scott would want to do that. I mean, being a senator is a pretty good gig.
It's a lifetime job. You never have to worry.
That is like the best job to have.
It's a part-time job they have for life, and they're very powerful.
And all you do is vote, yes or no. I mean, that's pretty much all you do.
Present.
I mean, it's the easiest job. It's very lucrative and
easy. And he's very wealthy.
Yes.
But I want to play a clip, though.
But he did say, what he said was interesting.
This is Rick Scott on Fox and Friends.
I support my friend. I support Donald Trump. This is just political persecution. It's a crime to use the courts for political persecution. And by the way, I saw this. It happened to me. I fought Hillary Care, and guess what happened when I fought Hillary Care? Justice came after me and attacked me and my company. So think about this. If we don't stop this, all right? If we don't stop this, they can go after you. Every American's at risk. So I'm going to go support this president because this is wrong what's happening to this guy. He is just being politically persecuted. What they find him for where no one lost any money. Now they're trying to put him in jail over an accounting dispute.
Okay. Now, Rick Scott has one problem. I have talked about this for years.
Yes.
He may have a speech impediment. He's not that articulate. Even though he's a self-made millionaire many times over, you hear how he slurred his words a little bit there. He's not very articulate. I don't know if he has a speech impediment.
That's always been that way.
He's better than he used to be.
New.
He's gotten a little better. Because when I saw his press conference today in front of the courthouse, I didn't hear it as bad as it used to be. I haven't heard him talk like that in a while. But if he's not on the VP list, he's certainly in the inner circle. And it's too bad DeSantis blew it. He should be up there with him too,
I still think it's going to be Doug Burgum. That's my
pick.
pick.
That's a good pick.
I'm sticking with it. He's the governor of North Dakota. He's been to a lot of rallies. He's very unassuming, which I think Trump kind of likes.
Yeah.
And he's strong MAGA. I think Trump, his number one priority is to choose somebody he can trust and somebody that can become president after him. And Doug Burgum's a likable guy. There's no controversy around him. I just pray to God it's not Tim Scott. I mean, my God, the guy's just, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
He gets so weird on stage.
But he is just awful when he starts talking. Kristi Noem, she's done, which is a big disappointment. Apparently she's a liar and kills dogs. So that you just think you know somebody. The other name is J.D. Vance. I don't think he would do it. He just became a senator, and I think he's happy where he is. And I've been very pleasantly surprised by him. He's really supported Trump and goes with him to the rallies, and he's really stuck by him. And then there's Marco Rubio, which is another Florida guy. And Marco Rubio, I could see doing it. He's been in politics a long time. He has run for president, so he wants to be president. He has those aspirations. And, he might be like, look, this is my way in, because he didn't win before when he ran, but being the VP and being at Trump's side and, who knows? So we'll find out soon. The convention's this summer, and I don't think we're going to find out probably until the convention. I don't think Trump's gonna...
Usually you find out like right before.
Do you think Trump has decided, or do you think he's just whittled it down to like 3 or 4 people?
I think it's possible he's decided and the person has screwed up. I
think Kristi Noem thought she had it in the bag until like yesterday.
Well, that's why she released the book, was the time a press tour, and she suspended her book tour.
Yes, she did.
Her
interviews are awful, and you could bounce a quarter off her face. It's so tight. Mm-hmm. She has got to stop getting plastic surgery. I mean, she looks absolute. I mean, I think she's pretty, but I mean, her skin is just too tight for. I mean, I don't know how she can even talk and move her mouth. She's a beautiful woman. Stop messing with your face. It's enough. She's not old. I don't get it.
Did you see that Barron Trump, as well as all of the Trump children except Ivanka, are going to be part of the Florida delegation to nominate their dad for president?
Love it.
Isn't that awesome?
Barron Trump.
He's going to be president one day.
I tweeted this today. Barron Trump, and I've seen 2 or 3 interviews with people. Now they're talking about him more because he's 18. And we watched Patrick Bet David, and he had a guy on his panel and another guy that have met him and have sat with him at the dinner. And, he's bilingual. And they said he's extremely smart. Mm-hmm. He's got very smart parents. And he and his father have a great relationship. They said they have a fantastic relationship. You can tell they love each other. And that he is a very funny and very sarcastic kid, which is not something you see in this younger generation. But he's obviously got his dad's sense of humor, which is more of like our sense of humor. And I tweeted today, Barron Trump has been sitting back for years, since he was 11 years old, watching people just treat his dad like garbage.
Yeah.
For no reason. That kid someday is going to get vindication for his father.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to make good for his dad someday in the future. And what I mean by that is he's going to get into politics. This is my prediction, and really become a political powerhouse. And for the family, I really think that he is going to go into politics. I really see that happening. But I wonder where he's going to college. They haven't said.
He's the MAGA version of John F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, I said that the other day. I said, is he like the new John? I mean, and yeah, I can see that. I could see him sitting back, just taking it all in and not saying anything because his mom keeps him protected. But I think once he gets out of college and gets a little older, it's going to be, he's going to be like pissed, and he's going to be like, I watched you guys do this to my father for years and years, and I think he's going to be even stronger than Don Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, because he grew up with this.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's going to be in government. There's no doubt about it.
Don Jr. is hilarious, and there is no bigger defender, I'll tell you, of his father, other than you maybe, and Eric Trump. They're great. But I think Barron Trump is going to surpass even them, because he's very close with his father, and he's just taking this all in. He's a quiet guy.
To me, I
sitting back.
I think he's going to be
like, just wait.
I think he's going to be president. I really do. Now I want to play this.
That's what they're saying now.
This is Mike Barnacle today on MSNBC. Mike Barnacle. He's like a barnacle.
I don't even know who that is.
This liberal jerk. He's been on MSNBC since they went on the air.
Donald Trump is a phenomenon that's not going away. And I'm wondering when the Democratic Party is going to figure out, you can make fun of him, you can talk about him being on trial and everything like that. He's not going away.
Nope.
None of this seems to be damaging him with the core of his support.
No, and you look at Wisconsin, and that is just absolutely ground zero for probably the state of the three most important states where this election is going to be decided. And the polling, the recent polling, is so close that it just shows how this election is going to be such a nail biter and really subject to what crazy event is going to happen and ultimately shake it in one direction or the other.
Oh, wow, they're making plans for something. There's going to be some event they're predicting on MSNBC, and they're on the inside. That's one of those.
That's interesting.
Said the quiet part out loud thing. A couple things. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but they got something.
They always got something up their sleeve.
Yeah.
They never stop.
Yeah. So a couple things I want to mention. I referenced this a little bit earlier, but I want to talk about it again. Today, while I was on the air, Tara Reade, who was sexually assaulted by Joe Biden when he was in the Senate. In fact, he penetrated her with his fingers against her will in the hallway of the Senate. She followed me on Twitter, on X this morning while I was on the air. And when sometimes celebrities will follow me. I know she's kind of a celebrity. She's, and I'll check, because a lot of times it's a parody account, and other celebrities have followed me. So so you want to make sure it's not a parody account. And this one kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I'll tell you why. On the way to the radio station this morning, I did a live stream in the car on the way to work, and I was talking about Tara Reade because a new interview with her just dropped from Tucker. I have not seen the whole interview yet. And I was talking about her on YouTube Live. And what I was, and by the way, I believe her story. Her story is very specific, and the Democrats certainly believe her, because Democrats say women should be believed, right? So, but anyway, when I was driving into work this morning and talking about her on YouTube Live in the car, I said, she went to Russia. I'm not sure if she's still in Russia, and I've heard she still is. And she went to Russia for her safety. And what I said is when she went to Russia, Megyn Kelly on her show on Sirius Satellite Radio, and this was also on YouTube, said that she thinks it's possible that Tara Reade's a Russian spy. Megyn Kelly said this, and I mentioned this. And I said, maybe she is, maybe she isn't.
Haven't you said that before?
Yeah, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. I don't know. But I thought it was strange she went to Russia. But even if she is, it doesn't discount what a scummy person Joe Biden is. Joe Biden is the scummiest, most criminal person to ever be president of the United States ever. And it's pretty creepy. But the same morning I was talking about that, her following me on X, it just kind of like, ooh. Is it because I said that about her, or is it coincidence, or was it just because I was talking about her?
When did she start following you?
This was at about, when I was talking about her on YouTube, was at about 5:30 to 4:45 in the morning.
Right.
And she followed me about 2 hours later.
So what I'm thinking is she saw that video.
It had nothing about her in the title or anything.
Well, somehow it got recommended, which happens. She saw it.
Somebody told Tara Reade about me, or something happened. Yeah. Somebody,
well, Eric Trump listens to you. We know the
No,
Trump
I know.
family
No,
listens.
no.
I mean, Eric Trump messaged you and told you they were listening.
Yeah, he sent me a DM. But people, I have celebrities that follow and listen to me and everything. This one, though, the timing was just so strange and out of left field, because I haven't talked about Tara Reade in a long time. And then that happened. I was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, if she is a Russian spy, does that mean that the KGB or I mean, I don't know. But I thought that was an interesting little strange thing. Kind of creeped me out a little bit, to tell you the truth, because the coincidence, the timing of it was so bizarre. But anyway, and I do want to talk, though. Yesterday, we didn't have a podcast because I had to put our dog Nina down yesterday. Our 17-year-old dog had to finally put her down. And in the last 3 weeks, she's really gone downhill. And when I came back from the cruise, she had really gone down, and she had cancer too, and it seemed that if the cancer had spread, and
that's what happened to our dog Daisy too.
She had cancer. She had a brain tumor. Yeah, and Nina had a tumor, but the cancer was in her mouth, but it had really spread a lot, and at her age, it was inoperable.
She couldn't walk. Her back legs weren't working. She was wetting her bed. And
she was going to she was going to the bathroom while she was sleeping, and it was
you'd wake up and it was it was really bad.
And I finally had to do it yesterday, and I got to tell you, it is hard. I've had to do this many times over the years because we've had a lot of pets. We only have one left now, our new cat, our kitten. We've had her less than a year.
Yeah, we still have our cat Luna.
And but I'll tell you this: I don't want to say the name of the place. It's not advertisers, but if you live in the South Florida area, and you
Palm Beach or Broward,
and you have to put one of your dogs or cats down, get in touch with Kathy and I. And I've sent many people to this place because the place we take our pets when you get to that time is not where we take them for their veterinary care. Otherwise,
no, because it's a bit of a drive.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive, and
we've been with the same vet near our house for like 20 years.
But the reason we take our pets when it gets to be that time to this place is they have a way of putting animals down like no one else. I got there.
Well, they have a whole room just for this.
Yeah, they have a room dedicated to it, but it's not an exam room.
No.
It's on the door of the room, though. It had a sign on the door. It said, "We love you, Nina."
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. I had to carry Nina in.
They really
she couldn't walk. She couldn't walk.
Oh.
They have a bed on the floor for the dog. They have the lights dim.
Candles.
They have candles and relaxing music.
Yes.
And they come in and they talk to you to console you. Are you okay? And they examined her just a little bit, checked her heart and stuff. And the vet actually told me her body's ready.
Yeah,
and
no, she was shutting down.
And then
she hasn't been eating in the last week.
No, she stopped eating.
She stopped eating, and she got really thin.
She stopped eating. She lost a tremendous amount of weight in the last week. And those of you that haven't been through this, it's not like Kristi Noem, okay, with the gravel pit and the pistol. They first give.
That's for sure.
They give an injection that makes them tired, so they kind of lay down.
They fall asleep
and pretty much fall asleep, and then they give them the injection. So she's laying there on this nice bed on the floor, and I'm petting her, and then they do all this, and then they give her the final injection. And as I'm petting her, I could tell she's gone.
Oh
and I said, "Is she gone?" They checked. They said yes, and they said, "Do you want to stay with her?" And you want to leave at that point because. One of our dogs I had to put down was a basset hound that was 16. Nina was 17. I take good care of my dogs, okay?
Yeah, they live a long time.
My basset hound was 16, and I stayed in the room too long, and sometimes their bodies start twitching. They get nerve reactions, and it's really, it's not fun for that.
No.
So you got to get out of there right away. And so I left the room, and then they came out. They take an impression of their paw print and put it on this nice, I don't know how you describe it, clay thing with their name.
It's like a little plaster.
It's a little plaster thing. They put their name in it, a little decoration on it. So we have
put little gems, little jewels in it.
Yeah, so we have these for a lot of our dogs, and then we we opted for the private cremation.
Yeah.
So we're going to have her ashes in a little urn. that we'll put in the living room next to the cats and stuff.
And next to Daisy.
Yeah. And but it's even though when I this morning I got up and I went to take her outside, she's not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you have a dog at 17 years old, they become like a part of your routine big time.
We might not get another dog. I mean, and this would be the first time.
Yeah.
Really,
since we first got married, we haven't had a dog. We
first got a dog when Emily was like 4. So the first time in 20 years since we've been married, we both had dogs growing up.
Yeah.
But I've always had a dog.
Yeah, me too.
Since I was a little kid, my first dog I got when I was 4.
I've never not had a dog.
And so I don't know. I love dogs. And the natural thing people do is they wait a little while and then they get a new dog. But
some people the next day.
Sometimes, and that's okay. I mean, I remember our cat Cookie got hit by a car. Oh my God.
That was awful.
Ugh. And Emily was like 9.
And she was young too, that cat.
She was hysterical.
Yeah. She survived getting hit by a car. But
she was alive. We took her to the vet. He's like, I can't do anything. I got to put her down. He said she's got internal bleeding. It was horrible. She was like a year old. She got out of the house and somebody hit her. And oh my God, talk about you're devastated. Your 9-year-old kid. And you took Emily and got the next day 2 new cats. And that was like,
that's right.
That's what you do, and it helped cheer her up. That's for sure.
But
Ruby and
that's
Milky.
what you do for kids.
But I don't know if I want to get another dog. I love dogs, I really do. But it is so hard to put them down.
It is,
and they are a lot of work. They need a lot of attention. Much more. I think I'm just going to be a cat person.
Yeah.
Because I do love dogs, but they require a lot of attention, which I just, as I get older, it's harder for me because I'm disabled and you work so much. It's really hard to give the dog the attention. Who knows? Maybe we'll change our mind. But right now, I think it's going to be just a cat household. We might get another cat so Luna has a friend. But it is hard to do. But yeah, message us if you live in Palm Beach or Broward or even Martin County or in the South Florida area. I think it's worth the drive to go. And because they even when we took Daisy, I went with you, and that was about 4 years ago, and I cried for 2 weeks. When I my God. Oh. And the girl that worked there hugged me. I was crying and she was hugging me.
Yeah, they're very nice.
They get very emotional with you.
They're like professionally trained grief counselors.
I'm sure they do it a couple times a week. But this is the place to go. I mean, it's not clinical at all.
I have sent so many listeners there. They're not an advertiser. That's why I'm not giving you the name. They're not advertisers or anything, and I'm not advertising what they do, but I know how hard it is when you have to put your dog and cat down, and this is a place that is like the most humane. The dogs are very comfortable, and it's as peaceful as possible for the animal.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're ever in that god-awful situation, get in touch with us somehow. Now, I forgot to mention something earlier about MyPillow. It's free shipping on orders of $75 or more.
That's fantastic.
So that means on the mattress topper, which is 50% off, it's also free shipping, okay, with our promo code Kane at checkout on the mattress topper. So just a little addition to that. And, of course, when you use our promo code Kane at checkout at MyPillow.com, you're supporting this program and all my content. And you make all of my content possible, including the radio show, my YouTube channel, and the podcast. So go to MyPillow.com. There are massive savings going on right now. The summer extravaganza continues. You can use our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout for all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. And it is free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So that's a big savings right there. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We will talk to you next time.